Out in L.A., one star shined the brightest as Bubba Watson once again put his name atop the marquee at famed Riviera.
Coming up, what could cause the new world number 4 to retire? Plus, Michael Breed teaches us all how to bend it like Bubba.
Plus, how honest do we really want star golfers to be? We examine their comments both on and off the golf course.
Also ahead, our sights are set on the Florida swing. Why the favorite this week will likely have some international flair. All that and more ahead on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
The last time we saw Tiger Woods in competition, he shot a final round 70 to finish in a tie for 10th in the Wyndham Championship. That was in August of last year.
Normally, you'd see the 14-time major champion in this week's Honda Classic, his de facto hometown event, but this year he's still out recovering from back surgery.
And with that, we say hello. A busy night here on Golf Central. Lisa Cornwell, George Savaricas, our insider Tim Rosafort. A new report surfacing this morning suggesting that Woods is still having pain when he sits down and has had a slight setback in his rehab process.
And Tiger's agent Mark Steinberg responded with this statement. It reads, "The tweets that appeared this weekend about Tiger's health are ridiculous and absolutely false. It's reprehensible that every few months someone makes something up and it's treated like a real story. Tiger continues to work on his rehabilitation. We will have an accurate update at the appropriate time." Now, it seems like a timeline for his recovery is very much still up in the air. We have Golf Channel insider Tim Rosafort with us. Rosie, what's the latest that you're hearing?
Talked to Davis Love III today, the U.S. Ryder Cup captain. He told me that he's been in touch with Tiger, that Tiger's, quote, making progress. Noted a Begay, longtime friend, his advisor through this, told me that Tiger is getting better and actually starting to move like a human being again. You know, guys, I live down in Jupiter, heard all the rumors, checked into them. Some of the stuff that was reported, that's like 6 weeks ago. All you hear now is about stories about Tiger dropping off his children at school, hanging out at his restaurant. Nobody said he was wincing. Everybody said he looks good and appears to be quite happy.
Looks like a good restaurant to hang out in.
Sure.
Anyway, but when do you think we'll see him back in competition?
I'm not going to say Augusta like I did a year ago. I'm thinking more later in the summer, if at all. He's playing the long game. He's got Noda in his ear all the time. And the one thing Noda keeps telling him is that nobody's ever been criticized for coming back too late.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, and especially with Noda Begay advising him. Noda had back issues of his own. And let's get you caught up to speed with what we've seen from Tiger Woods. Remember, this all started back on March 31st, 2014. Tiger going that microdiscectomy surgery. Had to miss the Masters for the first time since 1994. Then on September 16th of last year, he underwent a second microdiscectomy surgery. The end of October, he had a follow-up procedure performed. Since then, he's just been playing the waiting game.
Let's turn our attention now to the week ahead. Here are the top storylines. The Florida swing gets underway Thursday, beginning with the Honda Classic. Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, Adam Scott, Phil Mickelson. How about that? 4 group of guys, they're headlining the field in Palm Beach Gardens.
While the LPGA continues their run overseas with the Honda LPGA Thailand, featuring 9 of the top 10 players in the world, and 7-time major champion Inbee Park makes her return from a back injury.
And after Sunday's win at Riviera, Bubba Watson climbs 2 spots in the official world golf ranking, back up to number 4. That's where he was at the beginning of 2016.
And it was a nice scene on Sunday at the Northern Trust Open as Bubba Watson able to win by a single shot, made it a family affair on the 18th green out in California. Son Caleb, wife Angie, of course his daughter Dakota, all in on the celebration. A sweet moment for the big lefty as he celebrated his 9th career PGA Tour victory. And keep in mind, since the beginning of 2010, Bubba Watson has been one of the elite players on the PGA Tour. In that span, only Rory McIlroy has recorded more wins with 11. While Mr. Watson has posted 9 in that time to go with 2 majors. Remember when he said he'd consider retiring if he reached 10 career wins?
When I get to 10 wins, then we'll bump it up a few. We won't go another 10, but we'd bump it up a few. But I can't bump it up until I get there. So the goals will change. But when I get to my first goal, my goal every year is to make the team event, to win, to make the team event, and then hopefully get to 10 wins. And then I'll change that for a lifetime goal, I guess.
The current top 5 in the world golf rankings. No change among the top 3. Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, and Rory McIlroy with the win. Bubba back at number 4 in the world with Ricky Fowler rounding out the top 5. So what if the 2-time Masters champ ever reached the top spot in the world?
If I became number 1 in the world, I would think about moving on, because then everybody's going to write bad things, because all I can do is go down from there. And it'd be nice to go out on top. I have no idea what Peyton Manning's thinking, but it'd be a nice way to walk away with that big trophy him and his team just won.
Always interesting comments from Bubba Watson. Billy Kratzert here with us, our Golf Channel analyst. Matt Adams, host of Fairways of Life on SiriusXM, golfchannel.com, and of course, Tim Rosafort. Come on, anybody buying that Bubba's retiring if he gets to #1? Because look, he's on a roll. It could happen.
Well, we all know that Bubba has a hair trigger. I mean, you know, he's going to throw some stuff out there, and we're going to react to it. But, you know, as he said, each athlete has a set of goals. And when he reaches 10, then that's going to get bumped up to 15. You look at the Hall of Fame, 2 majors, you win 15 times, you're probably going to get in the Hall of Fame. But every athlete that plays their sport, their respective sport, and especially golf, you're always bumping that up. That's what makes you better, is when you escalate those goals, those dreams. And Bubba's no different than anyone else. He's just able to go ahead and throw it out there, and then we say, huh? What'd you say?
I think every super achiever in life actually sets goals, and they try to set goals that are just beyond their reach, a little bit beyond where they are. Well, now Bubba's talking about reaching. He's #4 in the world right now. Can he get to #1? Will he walk away from the game at #1? I really don't think so with Bubba. I think the best of Bubba is still out there, believe it or not. I think Bubba is becoming more and more comfortable in his own skin from what he's seen and what he has said to us all collectively of late. He's now a dad. He's got a daughter and a son in the flock. So I think there's a lot still ahead for Bubba. There's no way that I believe that just as he crests the top, Rosie, that he's going to slow down.
We talk about the big 3, the big 4, all the talent they have. Bubba Watson has as much talent as them, and maybe more in some regards. Now that he's starting to be able to chip and putt and do the things that are necessary to win more golf tournaments, I think this is just another case of Bubba talking without thinking about what he's saying at times. This is an example of that. I see if he could accept the fact that he's maybe underachieving now with all the talent he's got, maybe that would spur him on. But I think he'd have a hard time, though, dealing with the pressure of being #1, the media attention, all the stuff that goes with it. He's an extremely entertaining character, both in the media center, but certainly on the golf course. I'd like to see him tighten it up just a little bit off the golf course and just focus more on playing.
Let's throw one more around the horn. Matt, what impressed you most with his win over the weekend?
Well, again, what impressed me the most was the way that Bubba seemed to settle down and be comfortable in his own skin and accomplish what he accomplished for Bubba and for his family. I think at times Bubba, and he tells us this, he's got so many things coming into his mind. It's jumping all over the place to focus and to settle and to accomplish the task at hand, whether we're talking about a shot or whether we're talking about a putt or whether we're talking about a tournament victory. If he can actually hone that in and focus that the way that he's showing us in this past week and his run of late has been, he could be a real force in this game.
And he already is. I mean, look at what he's done. And we'll certainly talk about some of these numbers throughout the show.
Well, I just don't, situations like Pinehurst, he gets to Pinehurst and he doesn't like Pinehurst, you know.
Right.
Now, we like, don't want to get too off the point here, but, you know, you should like Pinehurst because with all the talent he's got, he should like every golf course he tees it up on. Same thing at Phoenix a couple weeks ago where he was criticized for what he said. You know, that's a golf course. He said it's a golf course for bombers now. Well, who's a bigger bomber than Bubba Watson? So he should have embraced it more. We like guys to be honest, but at the same time, sometimes the great ones don't tell you exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Rosie. But what I take away from this win this week is that he just had a miserable Friday driving the golf ball. But he was able to correct it. He had 19 to 28 fairways on the weekend, and that's primarily why he won the golf tournament. Sure, he made a bogey at 13, hit a bad shot, didn't get it up and down, but his reaction there was very, very telling to me. He kind of settled in. Even though he made the bogey there and he fell a couple of shots behind, there was no panic for Bubba. He was driving the ball well enough. He was going to give himself enough opportunity to get the ball close to the hole on the green, and he was putting well enough that he was going to make some putts, Rosie. And so what I got out of it was that here's a Bubba Watson that could actually settle down, settle in, and come from behind and win.
A patient Bubba.
Yeah.
Later in the show, we're going to talk about Bubba and the media and those comments we look forward to from you guys. I don't know, George. Bubba saying he's going to retire at #1 is kind of like Darren Clark calling the European team underdogs in the Ryder Cup. Not buying that one either, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying either of those. And Bubba Watson's got to be one of your early favorites to pick in the Masters. He has certainly shown his support of the Drive, Chip, and Putt Championship in its first 2 years. Bubba, he's been on site the Sunday before the Masters to meet and greet the participants ages 7 to 15. Registration for the 2017 Drive, Chip, and Putt Championship is now open. Register your child today, and he or she could be the next national champion. Go to drivechipandputt.com to get started. And we're just getting going here on Golf Central. How do you bend it like Bubba? The Golf Fix's Michael Breed shares the secrets with you. While an RNA merger will affect the Women's British Open going forward, we'll have the details and the top storylines to follow as we head to the Sunshine State for the Florida Swing. We'll be right back.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the Northern Trust Open. Shipsticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.